So that happened. Can a DJI drone survive a freshwater crash? That is what we're about to find out. I wish I didn't have to, but yet, here we are. Before we get into that and I plunge it into a bucket of rice, let me set the scene for how and why this happened. So, me and the mates were gonna go out on a little fishing trip on the canoe this morning. And I thought, I'm gonna bring the drone, it's gonna be beautiful, get some cool footage. And I did, it was beautiful. But I was so preoccupied with, it's a bit stressful having a drone on the water because you're trying to land it on your hand, but you're kind of drifting and it's going further away and you're like, ooh, don't land on the water. Or like at one point it tried to go back to the home point, which was now just the middle of the lake. And I was like, no, don't do that. You mustn't land there. That's not solid ground. And I was so preoccupied with all these things that I did not conceptualize the idea that we are in a little canoe just flailing wires everywhere, fishing line, just into the sky. And so I got some cool shots and I was just about to bring the drone in. And I probably took I was probably lucky up till that point, taking too many liberties, getting too close to the boat. And just as I was bringing it in, my buddy cast out a line and he did not manage to catch any fish, but he did manage to hook my drone, which in turn began to twitch and convulse and spin all around and it was crazy. And then it just dropped 15 feet into the water. I believe I shouted something like, "No!" So luckily, as it was convulsing and twitching all around and freaking out, it did not break the line connecting it to the rod. So we were able, thank God, to reel it in. So about probably like 10 seconds after it was in the water, we were able to pull it onto the boat. I grabbed it, I took the battery out and sat there and just pitied myself. Woe is me. Woe is me. Now, I know it's just fresh water, but I gotta say, when your drone gets hit out of the sky and starts convulsing, it is a horrific thing to watch. It kind of reminded me of that scene in James and the Giant Peach when the robot shark, its lines pull back and it gets all twisted up and kind of explodes on itself. That's kind of, when I play it back in my mind, that's kind of the feeling that I get. I had to unwind a lot of fishing line from all the props and stuff, so I'm hoping that the props didn't get stressed out and the motors from that, as well as the water damage. And yeah, one good thing was the light on the battery, which was in the drone, was still kind of on and flashing when I took it out, so that's a good sign. So I'm hopeful for this guy, but at the same time, it's also, it's nerve-wracking knowing that, I don't know, my $1,500 drone either is a piece of garbage now or works perfectly, and I cannot find out just yet. I need to wait. How long? I think I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know. You guys are gonna find out in like a minute what the result is, but for me, it's gonna be a few days, so wish me luck. All right, let's put it in some rice. As the drone flies a long, long way from the cold, hard ground, a poor man sees his drone shot down into the water. And a young man cries. Alright guys, it is time. It's actually been 7 days because it was raining and I was busy, but let's see if she flies. All right guys, here we are. I got the drone. She's been resting for 2 days on rice and 5 days just in open air. I got a fresh battery I'm gonna put in. Let's open her up. Here we go. Did something. go, 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 go. Come on. What's wrong? Okay, it's not working. It flies, she flies. Alright guys, so all that footage I showed you is footage post-crash. She flies up in the sky like a beauty, like she always has, with just one minor problem that I'll tell you about in a sec. So for the record, for anyone who's watching this video because maybe your drone took an icy plunge into the sea and you're curious what if it has a chance, let me tell you exactly what happened to mine. So it dropped about 15 feet or so into fresh water after its props got all tangled. I'd say we dragged it out between 10 and 15 seconds. It was fully submerged. Right away, I just pulled the battery out. I didn't try and turn it off. I just pulled it out. I actually forgot to turn the battery off for a good minute or two because I was so busy shaking all the water out of this, which was now off. So I shook all the water out, then I turned the battery off and I was like, ooh, I forgot to do that. I brought her home and covered them all in rice for about 2 days, 48 hours. And then I just let them air out for another 5 days. And then right after that, you guys saw just now, I put it up in the sky. I think the reason it wasn't flying at first was because it was looking at me and I was an obstruction. I wanted to get the whole moment on video from the camera and the drone. So that was good. That was with a fresh battery though. The battery that got submerged wouldn't turn on. I charged it and it lit up and started charging, but then even after that, it just didn't work. So the battery's toast, but that's okay. That is so okay. As for the drone, everything is perfect about her except, and this is probably just still a momentary thing while there's still maybe something inside drying out. One, there's still a piece of rice left in her. I got a lot of it out, but a lot of rice got in through the armpits, so just something to be aware of if you're soaking your drone or not soaking, if you're putting your drone in rice. And I'll get it out eventually. It's just maybe that rice is just a buddy that always flies with it forever. But no, so the one thing is occasionally, as I'm setting up a shot, the exposure has a hard time sitting still, and it'll kind of go bright dark. I'll show you. I have footage of it. It kind of has a hard time figuring it out, but it's very rare that actually happens. I shot all day yesterday and used 2 full batteries, and there was only one shot I had a hard time getting. But otherwise, she's great. She flies, she works. I am so grateful to the drone gods. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching because your drone is wet right now, know that there is hope. Miracles do happen. If my drone can do it, so can yours. But I'm praying for you. Namaste. I'll see you in the next video. Hello, Mr. Drone.